All right. Yeah, we were just talking a little bit more about the hospital and what she didn't maybe like. And what else don't you like about the hospital? What happened that we could fix?
Well, after I had my surgery, I was on this pain relief. And it was okay for the first few days, but it started making me a bit sick. So, and then by the time I was able to walk around, because I couldn't walk at first, that's why I had to be on the drip for the pain meds. But after a few days of when I could get out of bed and I had to start walking, they said I didn't need that anymore. I could just take like a tablet, not Panadol, strong relief. So I told them, all right. And I spoke to the pain management and said, well, they asked me what, if I'm allergic to anything. I said, no, I just don't want the pain relief endone because it makes me really crook where I vomit and it's just terrible.
No.
So they wrote that in their notes because obviously, doctors, they don't stay there. That's what the nurses are for. They write in the notes and then
the notes there for a reason, not a season. Yeah.
Yeah, and the nurse should have been checking notes. And obviously they should check notes from doctors and stuff.
Yeah, when they come in, you see it on TV, they grab the book.
Yeah, and they're supposed to look at it and
it's
go,
a standard procedure.
Yeah, and a lot of them did do it, but one lady, I'm not going to say names because I don't remember, but I'm not trying to shame anyone.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Got to check the notes, and she gave me a strong pain relief, and I got sick. And I asked them what they gave me, and she checked, and she said, endone. And I said, I spoke to my pain management and the doctor, and I said, I just don't want that because it makes me really crook.
Yeah.
And they're like, pretty much just said sorry and that, and they're like, we didn't see that in the notes or some crap. But what was if I was allergic to endones?
Yeah.
That could
and so who screwed up? Was it the person who said that they're going to put it in the notes that they told you? Or did you see them literally write it?
They wrote it down. They had paper and they were writing down.
Well, there you go. So they couldn't use the excuse that it wasn't in the notes.
Well, they didn't see it in the notes. Obviously, they just missed that part. Still.
Did they actually say that? They didn't see it in the notes? Or is that what you think they said?
Yeah, they said they didn't see it in the notes.
Oh, well, that's strange. Considering it's meant to be in the notes, you see.
Yes, they didn't see it.
Yeah. Now, this is a sector that's serious, right? I talk about these certain areas that I class as serious areas that always should have money, all the funding, and the right people, right? And respect, right? In these sectors. And if you don't, you could have failures. They call it the weakest link, right? And you can get warnings. Everyone's meant to have warnings. Humans do have errors, right? And definitely when you first start your job, you expect that. And in certain more important areas, you have the more educated people in there that won't more likely do things unless it's deliberately done, right? Or they've done something that's malpractice and they need to go, right? As they're old enough and wise enough to know what's going on, right? That's why we get educated. They're more likely going to get things going and it'll be less problems than the start. That's getting better, and we want people in these areas they get paid well, and they should, and if they're not, well, that's the problem, isn't it? You don't get paid well, it goes back to that not getting paid well, not doing a good job kind of thing, to how much you believe you should get rewarded out in society. So if you believe you do a lot and it's hard work and it's good work, then you believe you should be able to go out at least every day, and the basics, not have to feed yourself or cook. So that's pretty basic, isn't it? So you should be able to at least go out and have a nice place, able to have some savings, able to have things to buy, maybe a credit card you can easily pay off so you can buy things and use money in that way, able to go for a holiday. So you need money, don't you? Able to pay for the things that you might have around that keeps your morale up, animals, all right, and the vet bills. So you make sure that everything's reasonable so things can be paid. But if things don't get reasonable, as well as inflation, that's what causes it. Right? And so I believe people should at least get a warning, and things got to be treated seriously when it comes to those areas. Because what happens if it was allergic, a food that you ate and you're allergic to it and you nearly just had a moment, and they did the same thing by writing in the books. That's what they'll do, right, Emma? Yeah, and then to make sure that didn't happen again, and then it happens again. That's what happens. We hear about this all the time. And that could happen because of the pay factor. It could be a factor, but it could also be an education factor as well, and a factor where perhaps even the mental state in certain areas of why people are going through things at certain times. So what I mean by that is if they're having incidents at home, perhaps they meant to have a place when they do, they go see a psychiatrist type of person where they talk about that incident to make sure that that incident doesn't affect, and when things go wrong, we can quickly pick that it's probably that incident and you better go now before we go. I'll give you another 10 chances or something serious happens. Anyway, have a good one, everybody, and bye-bye.